Welcome to January A2NewTech 2015. Can't believe it's already 2015. This is my 4th year doing A2NewTech. It's always a pleasure. I didn't say that for the applause, but thank you very much. I'm Zach Steiner, in case we haven't met before. I'm one of the co-founders at Olar, a company that helps put live chat on websites. And so the purpose of A2NewTech is sort of twofold. And it's illustrated very well by our lineup of speakers tonight. We have some people who are starting their company, who are finding product market fit, who are maybe pitching their company for the first time. And we have other people that you might call seasoned entrepreneurs who are here to talk to us about how one of their companies was acquired. Just a quick show of hands, who has never been to an A2NewTech before? Oh my gosh, there's always so many new people every time. Okay, well, welcome. Our format, in case you've never been here before, is that we have speakers who give a 5-minute presentation about their company, followed by a 5-minute Q&A. So during the presentation, think of what sort of questions you have about technology, about their team, about the structure of the company, how they're going to make money, always a popular question. And you'll have a chance to ask those afterwards. Let's see here. There's a lot to talk about, but I think that's it for now. Maybe one last thing. We'll have community announcements in between some of the presentations. So if you have job openings, if you are starting a new venture, if there's a community tech or entrepreneurship event you want to announce to the group, in between the presentations is an excellent chance to do that. So think of those as we're doing presentations. So without further ado, I guess, our first presenter is Matt Bisk from Portfolio Lounge.
Hey guys, my name is Matt Bisk. I started Portfolio Lounge in 2012. Just wanted to get my design out there and allow other people to utilize a service that helps them get their work on the web, just as I have as a web developer. So it started out in March, and since then we've grown to over 10,556 members as of today. We took it a little bit further last year and introduced upgradable options, which would produce some revenue and make it more than just a hobby. And I'm looking forward to more of that in the future. I'm going to just give you a rundown on some of the features and the usability of Portfolio Lounge. Here's the home page. It just gives a general overview of what you can find within. As you can see, we have a nice interface and just gets straight to the point and helps people know what's going on. We also show some of our favorites with an option to browse more of the member portfolios. Here's some of the portfolios that we put under the Editor's Pick tab. Mainly we're looking for just full portfolios and nothing that's almost complete or near complete, but we try to get people who actually follow through and finish up their work, and we show them here. Here are some of the portfolios that some of the members have made in the past. This is Nadja Karabruber. I just found this guy today. He has an awesome portfolio, a lot of graphic design work, and it's a girl. Like I said, I just found her a minute ago, and I just thought I'd show you. Here's another one. Joe Hogan. He's another graphic designer. This is another one I found today. Looks like a very skilled graphic designer. I'm excited to see more of his work as well. Here's another guy that I really like. He made his portfolio last year, and it was mostly automotive based, but looks like he's expanded and has gone into several other categories. This is a photographer I know from back home in Chicago. She uploaded some of her photos last year, and she's really talented. She's also featured on the homepage, as you might have seen. there's some of the portfolios, and you might ask yourself, how easy is it to create one of these portfolios? And I'll kind of give you a rundown real quick. If we just go to create a portfolio, I have 3 options right now. It's just $7.99 a month or $16.99 a month, and that'll just get you more storage at this point. Last year we kind of ran into a storage capacity issue, so we had to start charging some people, hopefully, so we can stay in business a bit, and it seemed to pan out a bit. So I'll just go ahead and create a free portfolio. Once you log in, you're brought to the project page, so you can instantly start uploading work and get to the real deal about what portfolios are all about. You just create a new project. The first project would be photography. Or anything image-based. And we do try to tailor it for anybody who want to come in with an image-based portfolio. And then they simply upload items. Here's a bunch of my kids and my dogs and everything else I take pictures of randomly. Well, it's a little bit slow, so I'm going to go ahead and show you the rest of the pages in the admin while they load. Oh, there they go. Oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, there's a few templates to choose from, and features like tracking, Google Analytics, and the ability to use a custom domain. Normally it's just username.portfoliolounge.com, and that comes free. And I guess I'll wrap it up there. Is there any questions?
You stole my line, but that's okay. So as advertised, this is the 5-minute Q&A. I have a ton of questions. I think people in the audience might as well. Yeah, Steve.
How many people tend to convert from like a free account to a paid one?
Well, since we added the options for upgrades last year, there's only been about 75 upgrades. But with the only reason to upgrade being storage at this point, it's a slow and steady growth. Yes.
So how do you deal with like plagiarism or copyright material, infringing on copyrights, or?
Well, I just kind of, I give them the benefit of the doubt, and I just, hopefully, I mean, there's a lot of that going on the internet today, and hopefully we can get some serious designers and avoid that, but you never know.
You haven't had to respond to any DMCA takedown notices yet?
No, not yet.
Excellent.
Yes.
You have a lot of competition in this space.
There is. Just a little bit. There's probably about 15 that I know of. Well, from my experience, when I started this venture, I did check out quite a handful of these portfolio builders. Local competition? Okay. There is some competition, yes. Okay. However, I do have somewhat of an advantage. I'd like to think we made it to page 2 on Google if you type in create an online portfolio. So that puts us ahead of the game somewhat. And we're still working on search engine optimization to improve on that. Not to mention, I'd like to say that the design and usability, we try to get that as seamless and easy to use as possible. And I've used plenty of those sites, and it's just, and that's why I went about building my own.
Celio is, I believe, the company you're referring to, and they pivoted a little bit to be towards helping students find internships and a way for portfolios in general.
Yes.
So you say that you had 75 people upgrade to a paid account.
Uh-huh.
So how are you making money with this?
It's a monthly subscription, so each member who pays is either paying $8 a month or $16 a month. And I just rigged it up to PayPal API, and it just gets pushed
Okay,
through.
but I mean, you only have 75 people who have paid accounts, right?
Right, which brings it around $600 a month at this point.
Uh-huh.
Right now, it only costs about $80 to run, so it's still in the green as of right now, and I hope it gets greener as we go. So.
You don't have any advertising or anything like that?
When I launched the site, I did probably about $2,000 in Google AdWords. From there, we used the data that we collected from all the developers or all the designers to work on our SEO strategy. So that faded away, and it turned to all SEO, which is free advertising, basically.
But what I was asking about, you don't have any advertising on their sites. Anybody who has a portfolio or anything like that, there's no advertising there or anything?
There's no advertising right now. I mean, we hardly brand ourselves on their logos as it is. I mean, we have a Portfolio Lounge logo and try to keep it true to the designer. Thank you. Any other questions?
Yeah, there's some over here.
Yes.
Just a question, is the strategy to sort of go so people can find, like, I'm looking for a photographer or something, who might do wedding photography or something like that, to actually sort of use operational sites?
It is possible. You can browse the photographer or the portfolios by category, but it doesn't really give you a location. So I kind of leave the marketing up to the designers and photographers themselves at this point. That's not to say we're looking to do that in the future. So. Yes.
What are your growth goals for the business? You said you've got 75 pro users now, but what does growth look like for you in the next year?
We've had a steady growth, probably about 12 upgrade or like 10 upgrades a month. Hopefully that increases. As for goals, I'm just kind of going with the flow right now. If we ever run into some funding, that'll definitely push things forward a bit harder, but we do have some new strategies in the works. So.
So for now, just sticking with the organic growth, let it sort of run its course.
Well, basically, yeah. As well as adding features to help motivate them to upgrade. For example, we're working on having private projects for upgraded members, so that if they have a client for photography or something, they can password protect that project and keep it for the client. And that's almost about to be in production. So. And I think that's my time. So thank you.
I have a huge soft spot in my heart for companies that are bootstrapped and profitable, and I have to say that you deserve an award for perhaps the most laid-back, chill A2NewTech Congratulations on your profitable, growing business. I hope you continue to do so. I wanted to quickly mention our sponsors while our next presenter gets set up. There are a number of them. First and foremost, the University of Michigan Law School Entrepreneurship Clinic. They are our wonderful, wonderful, wonderful venue hosts. A2NewTech was homeless for a while, and they really pulled through and helped us find this beautiful space, which is almost but not quite a standing room only. So thank you guys so much. Another one of our sponsors is our R2D. He's taking a much-deserved break, but Roger is our professional videographer, and he runs I guess I'm not sure, I think it's both a sort of a business and a meetup called R2B for your Ann Arbor videography needs. And the last sponsor I wanted to mention was A2Geeks. A2Geeks is this amazing meta organization that helps organize a broad array of events in Ann Arbor. Ignite Ann Arbor, A2NewTech, they provided support to coffee house coders in the past. And so if you have a tech-oriented meetup and you're looking for some infrastructure support, you need help maybe finding places to host your events, need ideas for how to do fundraising for the event, that sort of thing, I would highly recommend contacting A2Geeks. How much of an intro do you want?
Doesn't matter, whatever
Okay.
you want to give.
Steve Schwartz has presented at A2NewTech many times. One of my character flaws is that I'm a stickler for rules, and one of the rules of A2NewTech is that you have 5 minutes per presentation. Steve is going to talk to us today about how his startup, CarcodeSMS, was acquired by Edmunds.com. And after much negotiation back and forth, we decided to give Steve 10 minutes for his incredible story. So please welcome Steve Schwartz.
Thank you. So, yeah, Zach's a stickler for rules. Anyone who knows me probably knows I'm a stickler for breaking rules. So that's a good start. I'm Steve Schwartz. I work right now at alphajango.com. Alphajango.com. We have a website that's alphajango.com. Our company is called AlphaJango. We build early stage startups, so we basically act as CTO and development team for hire for early stage startup founders and help them strategize and build their startups. We also build startups ourselves. One such startup is CarcodeSMS. This is the story of how we built CarcodeSMS and got acquired in October last year. And this is for A2NewTech, obviously. So the synopsis of the story here is that for CarcodeSMS, we went from idea to execution to revenue positive to acquisition, all in the span of about 10 months. We had the idea for CarcodeSMS in January 2014, and we got acquired at the end of October. So yeah, we did it in 10 months, and it only took us 4 years. So I'll tell you about how that works. Essentially, we started out working with, we co-founded CarcodeSMS with the other founder, Nick Gorton. We started out working with him about almost 4 years ago. In January 2011, he came to us, and he had an idea for another site called Carcode.me. You can tell we're pretty creative with our product naming. But Carcode.me, what it did was it integrated with the dealership's inventory systems and automatically created a mobile website for the dealer that kept all of their inventory in sync and allowed customers to view VIN-specific data about every vehicle on a dealer's lot. And we also partnered with some window sticker companies and put QR codes on window stickers, so when you're on the lot, you could actually scan the QR code and view that information right then and there. You didn't really need a salesperson to help you out anymore. So like I said, we first started building that in January 2011. By 2012, we had about 100 dealers across the country, each dealer paying between $100 and $300 a month. So we did all right with that one. It grew well, it was profitable, it made us back more money than it cost us to build it, so that was good, but it wasn't incredibly scalable. None of us were about to quit our jobs. In fact, the founder, Nick, had to go get a full-time job because it started to plateau and we weren't seeing a lot of growth opportunities through it. So then, in December of 2013, near the end of December, beginning of January, Nick came to us with a new idea. And it was a really simple idea. He said, hey, as car shoppers are searching automotive websites from their smartphones, it seems like they might want a way to text dealers, and there's not a way to do that. This is the funny thing about being a technical person working with other founders who know their industry inside and out. In the technical industry, you wouldn't normally see such a simple idea not already being addressed by 100 other people. So when he came to me and said there's no way to do this, I was like, yeah, that can't possibly be right. But then I looked into it, and sure enough, I could not find any way to do this that dealers were currently doing. Everyone who was texting dealers when they were in the process of shopping for cars were getting the cell phone numbers of salespeople and texting them back and forth, which actually isn't even TCPA compliant, which means the dealer is not supposed to be doing that or allowing that. And so we looked into it and we thought, okay, well maybe there's not that as much of a need as we think. We actually found a survey by Edmunds.com. This is a scan of like a PDF that Nick emailed to me that says 34% of people in the survey that Edmunds conducted said that they would prefer to text dealers questions about buying their car, which again seems really odd that there's actually published surveys out there saying stuff like this and not really anyone addressing the need. So in fact, this was such a compelling point that this became the splash image on our homepage. We literally just, when we built the website for it, we literally just told dealers, 34% of your companies want to text you, or of customers want to text you, why don't you let them? I'm going to try to speed up a little because the end part is what's really cool in this presentation. But this, again, this is a screenshot that Nick sent me for the original idea. He was like, see, these dealers all have mobile websites, and you have a click to call and a click to email. I want to do a click to text. And so the idea for CarCode was literally that simple. It was just, I want to be able to click to text on a website, and that's it. Everything that we built for CarCode came out of that one idea. So once you have a click to text, okay, now the dealers need a phone number that can receive text, and most of them don't have it, nor are they sophisticated enough to set up, their own phone numbers that can receive text and route calls to their salespeople. So we did all that for them. This was the initial idea for CarCode. This is on my whiteboard. So we literally just kind of did a quick sketch of what the interface would look like to the salesperson, what the database would probably look like. This is a kind of rundown of what the workflow is to the customer and to the salesperson. And we got started building it. This is January 2014. So we literally just took that idea and we built this thing, which is basically we have a JavaScript widget that goes on a dealer's website. So the dealer just includes a snippet of code in their website, and we would actually insert the click-to-text buttons anywhere they need to go in the website. When a customer clicks it, it just launches your native texting app, so the customer is not even aware that CarcodeSMS exists. And then when the salesperson receives it, they get a notification, they click a link, and they're launched into this interface in our app, which allows them, basically mimics their texting app interface. So they can just text back and forth with the customer, and then of course everything that goes out from that. I won't really go through what the product is too much because I did another presentation at A2NewTech last year on that when we were building it. What I wanted to show here is what actually started our conversation with Edmunds is they have this competition called Hackamotive, which is kind of a weekend hackathon. And my dad just sent me an email saying, hey, this event looks cool. You guys should do it with CarCode. This was like in January. This was as we were just starting to build it. So we actually sent Nick an email saying, this looks cool. Should we do it? And he said, yeah, it actually looks perfect. Let's do it. As we started talking about, we were saying to ourselves, we probably won't gain very much from the hackathon itself. But we had identified early on Edmunds was a target acquirer for us, or partner. We didn't think they'd really acquire us. We thought they were a good partner. And so we thought, if nothing else, this hackathon's being hosted in their headquarters building. Let's just sign up, and if we get in, you two go over there and do the hackathon, and I'll sneak up to the 5th floor and drop in on some executives and see if I can start setting up meetings. So that was the idea. This is the Edmunds headquarters in Santa Monica, so we kind of used their hackathon as a Trojan horse to get us in the door. And not only that, but we figured, hey, while we're trying to get their attention, let's create like a white label version and show them we're serious about partnering with them. So we literally just created a skin onto our MVP that we had built that made it look like an Edmunds app. So I could bring it up on my phone and just say, look, you can have this. Of course, they didn't know that we basically just made it really easy to skin. But they still don't need to really know that to this day, I guess. But to our surprise, so by the time they even announced the awards, we already had 3 meetings set up with their VP and directors. And so we actually had 3 meetings set up for the following week before the awards were announced. And then by some miracle, we actually also won the Hackamotive competition. So we got some money there. We got a lot of press from it. We got write-ups in New York Times, Words Auto, Edmunds.com, a bunch of other places. This is our growth here. The blue line is dealers signed up, and the red line is customers texting dealers. You can see we started out with a customer really early on, which we were able to do through CarcodeSMS. But you can see we had a spike when we did Hackamotive. We had another spike when they actually invited us to come out to their Fastlane Accelerator program. We did a lot of cool stuff there. I won't talk about it because I got like a minute and a half to get through the whole next 15 slides. But this is us there with our cool hoodies. These are the limos that they carted us around through the whole accelerator. And they actually let us put a button on Edmunds.com to start doing some customer discovery with their customers. So at the end of that, we wanted to talk to them about partnering, and they actually came to us and said, why don't we just buy you? And we go, yeah, that's funny, but anyway, about this partnership. And they go, no, seriously, what if we just buy you? Well, we knew by this time we're actually growing. We're making a lot of money already within the first 5 months of building this. We didn't really need to sell, so we actually just threw out a crazy number, and then they said, okay. And so this is us signing the papers. This is the article about Edmunds acquiring us, and this is us getting wasted at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So right now they made us free, and they're trying to roll it out to every dealer in the country. We've actually become the fastest growing product in Edmunds history after they acquired us. Real quick, I'll go through a few lessons. I have 25 seconds. Is it cool if I break another rule and go like a minute into questions? All right. So, sorry, don't try this at home. Selling to dealers is easy when you're in person. So for Carcode.me, we sold dealer to dealer. Nick was really good at selling it to any dealer he walked in the door. He lives in Seattle. These are all the dealers around Seattle. But if you look across the country, it was very spread out. So we knew for CarcodeSMS we didn't want to do that again. That's why from day one, we were like, let's build this to be private labeled so we don't have to sell it. We only have to talk to a couple partners. That's how we knew our market going into this, because we had already built a product 3 years earlier. Another thing we learned is focus on the user relentlessly. I had examples for each one of these, but I'm just going to kind of run through the lessons learned. These are all lessons we learned doing CarcodeME, which made it easier to do CarcodeSMS. With CarcodeME, we knew that there were a lot of assumptions we had about the space that were proved wrong immediately. With CarcodeME, we thought people would scan the QR code and not have to deal with salespeople. Turns out when we released, that's not how it was used. The salespeople were scanning it because the customers were still asking the salespeople questions, and the salespeople were using it as their information source. So for CarcodeME, we quickly pivoted to actually build a salesperson tool, and that's why dealers liked us for that. Talk about your startup. With CarcodeME, we were going to build the QR code thing. We were talking to everyone who'd listen about our startup early on, and we actually got the attention of a window sticker manufacturer who said, hey, I can already print QR codes. I just don't have anywhere to put them. Can we point them to you? And so by talking about our start before we had even built it, we actually found a partner, and we're able to scrap half of our MVP and start out with 100 signed dealers right off the bat. So again, with CarcodeSMS, we didn't even have a product built when we applied to Hackamotive, and we started that conversation with Edmunds early. Launch early, iterate often. Obviously, you can tell we did that with CarcodeSMS, having a whole 10-month life cycle. And this is one of the big ones that I really wanted to get to, which is why I asked for extra time. Agree on outcomes with the people you're founding a company with, or even if it's just you and you're a solo founder, agree on the outcomes you want to accomplish and accomplish them. We found out with CarcodeME it was really successful, but we had equity in that, and it turns out it made a lot of money. It could run itself. It wasn't enough money to, after we kind of paid Nick a salary for a while, there's nothing left over to pay us. So we actually figured out we don't want to just be in, like if we're going to take equity in companies and be partners with people, we need to make sure we're working towards the same outcome, because you can have a completely successful startup by one person's metrics and not by another person's metrics. So with CarcodeSMS, one of the things that really lit a fire under our ass to be able to do this and execute quickly is the three of us that co-founded it actually said ahead of time, all right, we don't want a repeat of last time where we end up with a company that does okay for 3 years and doesn't really make us any money at the end of the day. So this time, let's set 90-day milestones, and at the end of every 90-day milestone, if any one of us wants to quit the company, we'll shut everything down, liquidate what's in the bank account, and move on to something else. And so that was one of those things that really pushed us to have new milestones every 90 days, which is why we signed up for Hackamotive early on. It's why we executed and got customers really quick. It's why we said yes to the accelerator, and it's why we really pushed them for that partnership. At the end of the accelerator, we could have said thanks and walked away, but we pressured them for a partnership, and they actually came back at us with an acquisition offer. The other lesson I learned is be lucky. Super important. If there's one thing I could tell you to do that'll make you successful, it's this. So, and then also questions, which is both a lesson, ask lots of questions, and a question. Yes.
Comment.
Yeah.
My definition of luck is preparation meeting opportunity.
Yes, absolutely. One thing I've discovered is there are a lot of things that you can do to create luck, but those things don't necessarily result in luck. You have to be kind of lucky.
On your texting screen, how did you tie that into either vehicle or customer? And I can see this to be just an open communication, and the dealer is getting hundreds of these from different customers for different vehicles. There must be a way that you help the dealer organize these things.
Yeah. So that's part of our whole back-end and administrative interface. I had another presentation that I give at A2NewTech, or that I gave at A2NewTech, that kind of delved into the details, and we can talk about that more later. But essentially, we started with the one basic idea and built an entire platform off of that, doing exactly those kinds of things, tracking leads, matching a text lead to an actual sale for the dealership, and then keeping the conversations intact between a customer and a salesperson, making sure that once you get matched to a salesperson, you always talk with that salesperson, stuff like that. And we integrate with the dealer's CRM as well. Yes?
I was wondering why, instead of building your own mechanism back end and so forth from, why not just repackage like a Twilio SMS API?
We did.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yep. We use Twilio. We used a few other providers as well. There's actually, once you start digging into feature sets, there's some big differences. Twilio tended to be the most reliable, but also the slowest to release new features, such as MMS. Yes?
I understand the operations of dealerships, very fragmented and complex.
Yep.
How did you, what did it take for you guys to sign up the inventory data of 100 dealerships with
It was actually a very low-tech solution. One of the things we learned early on with dealerships is they're not very sophisticated when it comes to technology. So our integration system actually relied on us having a massive FTP server and giving them SFTP access. And most of the inventory systems were dated enough that instead of having APIs, they had a feature where they could enter an SFTP set of credentials, and it would literally just dump a CSV on that server once a day. And so we built an entire backend for CarcodeME that consisted of knowing where to locate those files and consuming them once a day.
You said focus on the user relentlessly.
Yep.
Was that the dealer, the salesman, or the ultimate customer that you made?
It changes, but one of the big lessons I had from that really helped us with CarcodeSMS is we learned from our first product that one of the big problems for dealers anytime they adopt a new piece of software is that they have really high turnover and churn rate for their salespeople. Salespeople tend to jump from dealer to dealer to dealer. And so one of the big barriers to getting a dealership to buy software from you is what the training requires. Because if they have to train a salesperson and then keep retraining salespeople every time a new one comes in, it makes it more difficult for them to actually adopt the software, and they know that. And so that's a big barrier. So what the funny thing is about CarcodeSMS is there were a couple, like literally one or two competitors that were doing kind of the same thing, but not really. And one of the things that they kept touting is we have native apps, we have native apps. And as technologists, we kind of accept that that's a benefit. Like it's not a benefit, it's a feature, and it's a feature that a lot of people don't even know the difference between a native app and a web app. So the funny thing for CarcodeSMS is we intentionally did not build a native app because we knew that if we could do it as a mobile web app, what could happen is when the dealer signs up, they can just enter the phone numbers of all their salespeople. The salespeople never have to be onboarded. As soon as we get a text lead, we assign it to a salesperson, we send them a text notification with a link. That link has an authentication token, so we've created their account on the back end when the dealer signed up. They get a text message that says, you got a new lead, click here to respond. One truth about salespeople is they will always click that link, doesn't matter where it came from. So they click that link and they're presented with a text message interface with a customer asking a question about a vehicle, and they just respond. So whereas our competitors were saying, we're better, we have a native app, we were going to dealers and saying, we have no training process required. And so it actually ended up making it really, really easy for us to get a lot of dealers signed up with CarCode really quickly, which I think is one of the things that led to us being the fastest growing product in Edmunds history.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Generally, after the presentations, people stick around a little bit to ask questions, either of the presenters or of people asking questions. So if you have other questions for Steve, hopefully you can stick around a little bit and help people out. Thank you. While our last presenter is getting set up, I wanted to open up to community announcements. Yeah. Oh wait, sorry, there's someone behind you, Dan. You go.
Go ahead.
You can come down too.
Let's do that.
Hello. I'm here to talk about the annual Collaboration for Entrepreneurship. Who's been to ACE? Oh, that's, I don't ask who's not been to ACE. All right, come on up, Steve. You're with me. You too. Come on. We are all the cool people who go to ACE, and you're going to join us on Thursday the 29th. That's a week from 2 days from now. Right? From 2 till 8 at Burton Manor in Livonia. This is a Roya Jirga. That's Afghan for a gathering of the tribes. So all the different entrepreneurship tribes in Michigan all get together for this one-day conference, which is like this on steroids on crack. There are educational programs, there's dog and pony, there's a pitch-off for the prize, but mostly it's being around all of us, all in one place, just having a big entrepreneurial orgy. So go to ace-event.org, ace-event.org, and look at all the cool stuff that's going on there. And Steve, tell them why you went last time.
Because it's a fun event. There's a lot of really cool people there. They have like what's it called, a mentors. It's not a hallway.
Consultants corridor?
Consultants corridor. There we
It's
go.
called corridor. It's
a
a room.
mentors hallway.
Yeah.
Consultants corridor. That's cool. You can ask a lot of questions from a lot of experts in different areas.
My favorite table there is.
Hold on, guys. We have a bunch of. Yeah. Thank you. All right.
Hi, my name's Mike Feldkamp. I work for Optimi. We're a local staffing firm based out of Livonia. My colleague Blair, also a recruiter, is up there. We are working on several front-end development, Python, mobile development roles across Ann Arbor, Detroit corridor. So we'll be up here after the meeting. If anybody's interested in speaking about their career or know somebody who would be, please stop by.
Awesome.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks, my name's Janet. I work at the medical school with mice, and out of what I do, I developed a more comfortable restrainer for the animal. I have an angel investor backing the company, and we're patenting. I'm looking for somebody who can build something like this.
Is that a 3D printed mouse?
It's a mouse holder.
Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Tyler. I'm the co-founder of Wisely. We presented here before. Just wanted to drop in to let you guys know about a new app we launched at the end of last year. We're local and we're working actually creating loyalty programs for a bunch of local restaurants. You've probably heard of Monty, Salida, Ravens Club, Slippery Turtle. We have an app that you sign up once, you kind of get signed up for their loyalty program, and based on how much you spend, you're in cool rewards, like hot sauce at the Ravens Club, or other great stuff around town. Ashley's, a lot of other places, about 20 places in town. So since it's Restaurant Week, wanted to drop in and tell everyone about it. If you sign up, if you text, I'll write it up here, A2NT, to a short code I'll put up. When you sign up, you get $10 off at one of the places of your choice that signed up. So I'll let you guys know. Should I write that up?
Go for it. Yeah.
My name is Angela Pete. I work with an IT startup here in Ann Arbor. We're looking for developers, sales and marketing. We really need a project manager, also customer service. So come see me.
Awesome. We're gonna start opening sites, I think.
Hi, so I'm Chris Kareka. I work for TD Ameritrade right down at Main Huron. We've had an office here for about a year. We're a tech center, so we don't do any finance or any other stuff, although we're a financial company in general. And so we're looking for about 30 developers. We hired about 15 last year when we just got started, and we got a lot of really cool things around like use personalization and portfolio management, a lot of things help in the tangential space around finance.
Awesome. Thank you.
I'm Dave Strensky. I work for Cray Inc. We make high-performance computers. We have the second fastest computer in the world right now. We currently have 80 job openings. Our headquarters is in Seattle, but we do software development in Seattle. I'm certainly Seattle, St. Paul, and Wisconsin, and you can work remotely. So check out Cray.com for jobs.
Awesome.
Hi, Lloyd Bloom from Amplifinity. We're a venture-funded startup here in Ann Arbor. We do referral programs. It's a SaaS platform. We serve brands, the world's largest brands in referral marketing like DirecTV, ADP. We are looking for people across the board, from sales and marketing to development, to QA, to implementation. We're a .NET shop. I'll stick around afterwards if there's any interest. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
My name is Ed. I work for Google in Ann Arbor. It's my first time here, but I wanted to make an announcement that this Thursday in Detroit, a place called Grand Circus, they're having an event called Google Demo Day where different startups that are considered stage A with $1 to $2 million funding will present their ideas and kind of have a session like this with investors and entrepreneurs around town. So if anyone is interested in attending, feel free to email me at eeylee@google, and I can share the RSVP link with you guys so that you guys can sign up and attend the event in Detroit.
Thank you. Virgil, thanks for your patience. We have two more.
Real quick, my name is Scott. I'm the CTO at Apartment Therapy Media. We run apartmenttherapy.com and thekitchen.com, two large media sites. Right now I'm seeking a product manager to help us kind of expand our product strategy. So anybody who has an interest in digital media and interested in working with a site like ours, come find me at work.
Awesome. And last but not least.
Hi, I'm Patrick. I'm the organizer of the Ann Arbor Ruby Brigade. We got a really cool meeting this month. We're going to have a panel of senior level developers get together, and the less advanced developers in the crowd can bug them with all the burning questions that they have. One of the developers will be Steve, who just presented, and also Mike from A2NewTech will be sponsoring the pizza. So beginners are welcome, and you know there's a lot of job openings here, and if you want to put yourself in a position to get one of those jobs, then you should come to beat up Silicon Valley. So hope to see you there.
Yeah, and thank you someone earlier for mentioning Google Demo Day. I also want to mention that Tech Week Detroit is coming to Southeast Michigan April 13th and 14th. It's another one of those events where there's all sorts of different entrepreneurial activities going on. So check that out. You Google for Tech Week Detroit. I thought I saw hands. What's going on?
Comment. All these guys that talk about different things, can they add that in comments?
Yes, thank you so much. If you go to this meetup on meetup.com and post my comments, then everyone can have links for all the things that were discussed here, and it makes it a lot easier to find stuff after the event.
It occurred to me I didn't mention when the meeting is. It's a week from tonight at 7 p.m. At Atomic Object in downtown. And you can find us on Meetup or at A2RB.org.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, Virgil, thank you so much.
No problem.
Yeah, please welcome our next presenter, Virgil.
Hello, my name is Virgil Hare. I'm the co-founder of MUABS. Stands for Makeup Ag Blog Sales. I'll give you a bit of history before I start. A blog sale, what it basically is a blogger, in this case a makeup blogger, has items that she already reviewed and she no longer wants them, so she goes ahead and sells them. So what we found out was the problem with blog sales is it's difficult to find buyers unless you have a huge blog following. It's untrusted, especially if you visit a blog, you see someone selling items, you're not really sure if they're a scammer or not. It's a huge learning curve and it's time consuming. So basically this is a directory. It's called Emulate Blog Sales. A lady created this. And basically what it is you would email her your blog sale link and items you're selling on your blog, and then she will automatically post them up here. And it was very time consuming. So what we want to do is create a marketplace platform for makeup. Make sure it's a one-stop shop. Make sure you're able to add items, add descriptions, have a payment processing to save time and make sure it's easy to use. And this is the site right here. And here's the items. So as you see, we have the image, the titles to say what the item is, the store, so Cosmetic Cleanout, that's the store name, and the prices. And like I said, I want to make it simple, so we got a pretty easy to use registration. And this is where you open up shop. Well, we wanted to figure out how to stop like scammers or people that wasn't basically verified by PayPal. So we was able to use PayPal API. So once they click on Get Started, they just enter their PayPal information. And if they're verified by PayPal, they automatically open up a shop. If they're not verified by PayPal, then it tells them error message and they have to go get verified by PayPal. The reason we wanted to use PayPal is that we didn't want to have to hold the credit card information on our servers, basically. And this is how we monetize it. We use PayPal chain payments. So basically, the sender, which is the buyer, the money goes through a seller. Then we take a 10% fee. That way, PayPal doesn't hold us liable for the items because we've done 100,000 in sales so far. So if we didn't use PayPal API, we'd be liable for a whole 100,000 because when the buyer, if they file a dispute, the dispute will automatically come to us. So by us using the chain payments, it will go to the seller, and that's how it should be used.
Here's our analytics right here. Basically, in July, we would hit BuzzFeed. And well, we was using a different platform, and we figured out that once we hit BuzzFeed, we lost all that traffic. Even though we had small bounce rate, I guess our platform just wasn't there, so we had changed it. We changed it in October. You see that dip right there? Well, I thought it was a good idea to change the site before surgery. So after I got done with surgery, I was out for a couple of days, and unfortunately, the site was still down too. So I apologize for that. But we are kicking back up, and we are growing. All this was built on WordPress too. So it's like we got a couple hundred people working for us for free. You know, so WordPress stays updated. All the plugins stay updated. We just do some custom code, and it's that simple. This is my contact information, and this is the website. And that's it.
Awesome, thank you.
How are you doing sales-wise?
We're doing pretty good. We're averaging a good 25,000 a month, so we're doing pretty good.
So I've been in the beauty industry for about 15 years. So how do you get around like diversion? Because like put that into a professional product brand, and someone is selling that product, something that you can buy at a big counter or at a salon. How do you like guarantee the product? How do you avoid diversion or being caught diverting?
Well, the good thing about us is, again, since we use PayPal, it all defaults on the seller itself, so we're not liable in that regards. We have a competitor, GlamBot. What they do is they basically buy the makeup from you, then sell it themselves. But you have to be pretty huge and have a big team to do that. We really want to keep the team small. So, and also, you are supposed to be PayPal verified to sell on our site. So,
Are these like salons or like?
Oh no, these are just.
Selling mass amounts of products?
No, these are just regular people. It's like an eBay, basically. eBay for makeup.
If you found someone was selling, I don't know, like Chanel with like 4 N's or something, like how would if you could revoke them? You could say.
Yeah. We have a flag feature, so somebody would just flag it. I mean, the makeup community is huge. We get emails all the time. If somebody's doing something fraudulent, and we get a lot of emails just thanking us for having it, because right now there's no way for them to sell it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
What's your advantage over eBay?
Well, eBay doesn't allow for open makeup.
Oh.
Yeah.
And what's your outreach marketing?
Well, basically, if you hashtag blog sales, so we reached out to everybody who hashtag a blog sale. That's on Instagram or Twitter. We talked to them. We did cold emailing. Well, Brittany, she's right there. She's a co-founder of MUABS. She works at Sephora, so she was able to plug us there too. So.
Is there any potential to expand beyond like makeup?
We do have fragrance. Most of it all beauty items. Yeah.
How did you first become aware of this market?
Well, Brittany, the other co-founder, she sold me a site. It was, like I said, it was pretty basic. I'm like, hey, I could do this and automate everything. I also won what's called Intel Innovator Award. So they gave me $50,000 to start up a site. It's called Login Will. 6 months later, I was broke, so I'm like, hey, let's do it. Let's do a makeup thing. I haven't tried that, so let's go for it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How long does it usually? I guess how much of your product doesn't get sold, or how long does it take for an average item on the site?
I've seen stuff sell as soon as they post it, sells in 3-4 seconds. Depending on what the item is, yeah. It sells pretty quickly. One lady, she just emailed me last month. She's like, I'm one of the biggest buyers on the site. I'm like, well, let me check that out. She spent about $6,000 in 2 months on makeup.
So you have no product?
No, we just a marketplace like eBay. Yeah.
No inventory. They don't look outside.
Well,
It's open.
Like something that somebody bought, they just never used.
Right. Open. If it's used, it's because say if you're going to get your makeup done, it's like almost like a makeup artist. They don't use brand new products, so you sanitize it and use it for the next customer. So only products you can sanitize are open or new, things like that.
Why doesn't eBay allow open beta?
We've been researching that. I have no idea. They just, I guess, I mean, they make millions doing other things. So.
How would it affect your business if they did?
That's a good question.
They could change it up.
Yeah, it could. I guess we just had to pivot then. Yeah. No, I haven't heard about it. Oh, like the CDN or something like that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we pretty much, like I said, with WordPress, it's pretty lightweight. So if we take, say, if we get 1 million hits, it pretty much stays alive. So we really don't have a problem being bogged down with traffic.
Is it self-hosted WordPress or WordPress.com?
Oh yeah, we self-hosted. Right.
I think you might be in competition for the most chill presentation.
Thank you. All right.
Okay, so that concludes our formal A2NewTech programming. There is always one last item, though. Would anyone be interested in heading over to Pizza House in about half an hour to continue the conversation over drinks, pizza, that sort of thing? Hands, maybe? I don't know. Okay, well, I'm gonna head over to Pizza House. I think a couple other people might. So if you're interested, please join us. Thank you everyone for coming.